Hello, bright and shiny beacons of light. I'm Michael Sandler, your host on Inspire Nation. I've got Jessica Lee, my wife, producer of the show, running the chat off camera here at the moment. Hello. 10 years, 11 years together, and that still just brightens my day right there. So we are going to talk about, actually, let's talk about brightening our day. What a special, amazing, incredible, just mind-blowing day and week it's been. We started off a little bit rocky of a week, and things have gotten better and better, and people have gone more to a place of love and to a place of peace and to a place of understanding. And it's something, you teach about and you write about. I've got this process called automatic writing, and I dive in each day into automatic writing. And I write about what's going on in the world, and I hear from source or universe, whatever we want to call it, how really this is a chance for humanity to go two ways, but we're most likely up-leveling. We're going from one electron state to another. And yet when you see the protests or the virus or whatever is taking place, what appears to be the end of democracy, you're like, oh my God. And then you see people come together. And you see what we're capable of doing as a species. And it gives me such incredible hope. That's what I want to talk about tonight, about how we can all find this hope, be empowered, be inspired. And we can all experience the shift that we are seeing on the streets right now. See, we all start out disempowered. All start out. As babies, we're completely disempowered. First off, depending on your religion, you may be told that you are born of original sin. How's that for keeping you down? Or you're taught that you have to obey your parents no matter what, even if you know that they're wrong. And so you learn that your opinion doesn't matter. You must play it small. You must fit in. You must listen to the rules. The largest nail gets hammered down. And so basically, the majority of us have our spirits crushed early on. The people you see in the streets, the majority, all of us, have had our spirits crushed on some level. Absolutely crushed. And so we live with this fear of rejection, fear of being rejected by the tribe, fear of rejected by those in power, by our teachers, by our mentors, by our parents, by loved ones. And we feel fear of being rejected by our own minds. Our ego is doing battle with us each and every day, telling us why we're not good enough, why we're a screw up, a failure. Why aren't you more like XYZ? I'm sorry, Mom. When I was 17, 18, something, laying on the couch, Mom brought me in a printout of Bill Gates and said, why can't you be more like him? I was still in school. We are even afraid of being rejected. But by what Don Miguel Ruiz, the brilliant author of the Four Agreements and many other books, calls the government of our minds. I'm hearing NWA, I think it is, in my head saying, fight the power that be. The biggest power that we have to fight, and I'm going to say love up, is the government in our minds that tells us why we're not good enough, why we're not following the rules, that is continuously judging us, trying us, sentencing us, at times almost even hanging us, because we can't meet up to the standards that were set in our mind by well-meaning loved ones, mentors, and teachers, some more well-meaning than others, when we were growing up. We can't meet up to it. So when we talk about becoming empowered, what we're talking about is shaking off all of the mental garbage in here that is keeping us from remembering how special we truly are. Each and every one of us, you, Yes, you are a spiritual being having a human existence. Now, it can be kind of a miserable existence or uncomfortable existence because of what's going on in our mind. And as above, so below, as within, so without. What does that mean? That means that we kind of create our lives to mirror and reflect what's going on in here. We can change that. We can start changing that tonight. Woohoo! But we are each divine spiritual beings having a human existence, and we are far greater, far, far, far greater than anything we ever could imagine. That's why I'm so glad to see so many protests. And I've been using that word a lot this week. And to me, it means testing one's power, coming into one's true strength, finding one's voice, finding one's meaning, finding what's most important, and continuously stepping forward and stepping forward and stepping forward more and more. Right now, each day, each week, almost each minute, and certainly each hour, people are starting to find their voices, to rediscover their power and use it for great change. So how do we do this? How do we begin? Certainly you can go out and express yourself. And if you feel called to, I can't recommend it enough, but you can begin to do it from your home as well. How? We get to imagine a great future. We get to imagine a better life. We get to imagine who and what you desire to be. Visualization is the key. If there's nothing we can imagine, there's nothing we can do. If there is anything we can imagine, then we can step forward toward that. That's why we've got a boot camp next week, next Monday through Friday, where we're helping you work on imagining your greatest future, on visualizing where you want to go, on coming up with that painting, that inner painting that gives you a path, gives you purpose, gives you direction, and learn how to burn that image into your soul so you can step forward. Everybody out on the streets this week has an image burned into their soul. Even if it's an anti-image, we won't take any more of this. George Floyd was enough. So there is an image in each and every person's mind. When you come up with that image, you become unstoppable. Who do you want to be? What do you want to do? What do you stand for? What would light you up? Jessica and I just watched the most amazing movie. I'm not sure if it was called Rocket Man or The Rocket Man. It's the Elton John story. And he was crushed as a child, absolutely crushed, and then crushed by his mom and dad as an adult. But he had this burning vision in his head. And because of the burning vision, he was unstoppable. So we need to, I want to say allow, but that just doesn't even seem fair. We need to challenge you to start playing again, to find out what you like to do. What does that have to do with being empowered? Because if you're depressed, that means to be squashed down. Depress the pedal? If you are depressed, if you are squashed down, of course, nothing seems interesting to you. We almost need to put a buffet in front of you, bring you back up, and say, do you like this? Do you like that? Do you like the other? Do you like this? Do you like that? Do you like the other? We need to start playing again and find out what your likes and dislikes are so that we can begin to envision a greater future. Again, we'll have a whole class on that next week. Jessica will even put a link in here so that you can find out more about it. So we have to start to strengthen your empowerment muscles. Because what happens is Ever since we're a little kid, we're taught to get good grades. We're taught to conform. We're taught what to do. And we have become disempowered or not learned how to stand on our own, how to be risky, how to be creative, how to stand out, how to try new things. So what I need from you first is a commitment to make great change. A commitment. Say, I commit to making great change. Come on, say it along with me. I commit to making great change. One more time. I commit to making great change. And now we get to begin taking micro steps to it. To me, the key to empowerment is courage. And the courage muscle has atrophied, so we need to grow it back. However, we don't need to necessarily take massive action to regain your power. Although this week has shown that there is a time and a place, thank God, for massive action. But I like to say, at least on an individual basis, macro action or massive action can be hard to sustain. What's easier? Micro action, but taken over a massive period of time. Water seems soft when you pour it out of a glass onto a countertop or onto your hand. But if you keep pouring that water and pouring that water over 1,000,000 or billion years, you get a Grand Canyon. Water can literally cut through stone over a longer period of time. It's micro action. In fact, I'm thinking of a run. I'm a big runner. Used to be a professional athlete. Got all sorts of titanium parts in my body, not from running. It's a miracle. It's a miracle I can walk. It's a miracle I've got both of my legs. And an absolute blow me away miracle. I ran 8 miles earlier today, up 2,500 feet in the Rockies, down 2,500 feet in the Rockies. I don't have an ACL. I don't have any lateral or medial meniscus, or so I've been told, twin titanium femurs and twin hips. Titanium, that is. And I had an awesome run. But what I did is I snuck my way into it. I snuck my way back into running. Tiny little baby step, go home. 2 tiny little baby steps, go home. Almost quite literally, and snuck my way back in. And on today's run, which is just beautifully epic for me, I didn't try to force it. Instead, I allowed it to unfold. So what does that mean? It means we've all been sold a false bill of goods when it comes to time. It's one of the key ways that we've been disempowered. We've been told you must get it done now. You need big change now. And we've been sold the bill of goods that, the best way to put it, is that we completely overestimate what we can get done in a day, and we leave the day feeling absolutely miserable. And we radically underestimate what we can get done in a year or more. My running has been coming along year after year for the last 3 or 4 years. I had this vision. The vision's not going to quite work out, but that's okay. I'll get to that in a second. Had this vision of being able to run races completely light and free at age 50. I turned 50, I can't believe it, in 2 months. Woohoo! Am I running better than I have in at least a decade? Absolutely. Woohoo! Will I be in races in this coronavirus year? No. Actually, I'm doing much more. I'm so excited about all that I'm doing, but I have allowed it to come over time. First, I committed to it. I said a key focus of mine, and I watched 2 years ago as I started to get derailed and had to pull it back, and I actually needed Jessica's help to pull it back, and I needed to go through things and allow them to unfold to pull it back. But the first thing it took was a commitment to change. That's what we get to do. You might say, oh, if I only had the time, if I could, basically we come up with all these excuses and reasons why we can't step forward. So I've got a commitment out of you for great change tonight. What I'd like is a commitment out of you to find one thing that you would like to start doing, any one thing. And let's play with this for a while. So on that note, I have a harmonica, and now I've cracked out my flute on my desk. And I'm committing to each and every day to taking a little bit of time to play with music. I don't know how to play either of these instruments at all. And that's not important. If we're going to grow our courage muscle, if we're going to be empowered, then we need to make a commitment to making micro steps forward each and every day. For myself, I feel a calling to do some music. Actually, I feel a real calling to do some singing. Ta-da! I get singing lessons here at some point. But with that said, I'm starting by playing an instrument. I have taken and made a commitment to stepping forward with my music, tiny, tiny little baby steps each day. What's your commitment? Again, it doesn't have to be anything of grandeur. The mind is a funny thing. It's a self-affirming mechanism. If you feel you're a screw up and a loser, this was my MO, then your mind will find reasons to prove to you that you're a screw up and a loser. If you feel like you're a superhero and on top of the world, then your mind will find reasons to prove that you're a superhero and on top of the world. So if you want to grow more empowered and more confident, you have to give little seeds of proof to your mind each and every day. Commitment and keeping that commitment is proof. You did a little bit on the harmonica today. That's proof. You did a little bit of writing today. That's proof. Did you know? And I've had countless clients come to me for help with books. And they say, I don't have time to write a book, but I've got this book that has to come out. Did you know if you wrote a page a day, how long does it take to write a page? For some of us, 5 minutes. For some of us, 30 minutes. For some of us, a little bit longer. But let's say it takes you, on average, 15 to 20 minutes to write a page. Doesn't have to be perfect to write a page. If you wrote a page, 15 to 20 minutes a day, 15 to 20 minutes each morning, a page a day for 6 months, you have a 180-page book. If you write a page a day for 6 months and then you edit a page a day for the next 6 months, you have a nearly complete book in just a year. Again, we radically overestimate what we can get done in a day and then end up kicking ourselves each and every evening. God, you're such a loser. Why didn't you get things done? And we radically underestimate what we can do in a year. Your job is simply to choose something, anything to work on that confidence and get started each and every day. I don't know how many people I've worked with because I've done life coaching. I've also done running coaching. I've done performance coaching. The number of people who come to me and say, I can't run anymore. And I say, well, tell me what's wrong with you. You got your legs? Yeah. You got your knees? Yeah. You got your hips? Yeah. All righty then. And I may have them start literally with 10 feet, 10 steps. Don't run the next day. 20 steps. Don't run the next day. 30 steps. Don't run the next day. A year later, let's do a marathon. From tiny little steps, making that commitment and putting one step in front of the other. It was 5 years ago this week, June 1st, 2015, that Jessica and I started this show, Inspire Nation show. We're in every country. We've got hundreds of thousands of listeners, over 100,000 on YouTube alone, 121,000. Including you, maybe close to 122,000. Woohoo! And when we started this show, June 1st of 2015 is when I started calling people or emailing people to start recording them. We had absolutely no experience. We had no idea, none, what we were doing. We had no idea, none, of how to put things together. We had no idea, none, of what we were doing. But we burned a vision in our heads of see ourselves speaking before thousands of people, reaching hundreds of thousands of people. We've got sponsors. We've got all of this cool stuff going on, and we're helping to change the world, and we're meeting with these amazing guests, and we burn that image into our mind. Again, check out the boot camp for next week. Really cheap, $25 for the whole week. It's $5 a day. Come join us for that boot camp next week. Learn how to visualize. We burn that image in our minds. Imagine success. Imagined it working out. I could see it. I could feel it. I could taste it. I could touch it. And I ignored the concept of time and just started with tiny little baby steps. You know, to get our first guest on the show, it took 20 emails to get one yes. Now guests knock on our door. Now guests are calling us. But at the first time, 20 emails to get one yes. So you put out one email, then you put out the next, and you put out the next. And each day you put out a little bit more. There is money pressure. Just breathe into it. Keep faith, keep visualizing, keep on course, and keep stepping forward. In fact, a few of the earliest interviews completely blew up. I had no idea what I was doing with our microphone. And it completely blew up, but I kept moving forward. When you keep moving forward and you start to gain confidence, you learn the pivot. What's the pivot? The pivot is that universe is going to put blocks in your way. Not so that you ram your head against it and you force your way through, but to help you grow stronger and help guide you. So you learn how to go over, you learn how to go under, you learn how to go around or steer in a different direction, but you learn how to pivot. Where's the pivot come from? It comes from each day taking little tiny steps forward, gaining a little bit more confidence and gaining a little bit more confidence so that when things go in your way, you go, I can handle that. I can find a way. At this point, 5 years later, we're in a position that if something, I'll put it in quotes, bad happened with anything, we would be able to pivot and find a way. Why? We become empowered through the process. That's what I want to challenge you to do. Finding your power, becoming empowered is about experimenting. It's about trying something. It's about not falling apart, but falling together. Well, not failing backwards, but failing forwards. Failure, in quotes, is one of the greatest things in the world. God, it hurts. Somebody who says, oh, there's no such thing in failure. Bogus. It hurts bad. I've had books blow up. I've had businesses blow up. We've all had relationships blow up. It hurts bad. But if we can embrace that and learn from it, then you become stronger through the process. So if you're in a place right now where, crap has gone down for you, no, it is really here to serve you. Really here to serve you. Crap has really gone down in America right now. Crap has really gone down with COVID worldwide. I'm not making light of it at all. But oh my God, is it here to serve us? And I think this week is starting to show us what is possible worldwide. Humanity rising up, saying no more, envisioning something better, and taking steps forward to that. So there is no such thing as failure, except not trying. Not trying is a decision you consciously make. Don't think you don't consciously do it. We each consciously choose to step forward or choose not to. And when we choose to put it off to tomorrow, that is choosing not to. There is no such thing as failure except not trying. So make a commitment to yourself, even to do something small. Why not write a page a day? Why not try an instrument? Why not start drawing again? Why not start to envision a possibility in business that you never even considered? Why not volunteer or work with the plethora of groups that are out there doing such amazing work in the world and on the streets this week? Step out with them. Why not do something amazing? Because you are amazing. You are incredible. You are a gift, a child of God. You are the universe. You are the divine. So step out, try something, get dirty, get ugly, fall on your face. Well, turn your face to the side, try to catch yourself with the hands if you can. But put yourself out there. I'm thinking last year, one of the last runs of the year, I tripped. I was going so fast, I was booking. And I hit a little tree stump or something that was cut off at the base on a trail, and I tripped. And I caught myself and I broke my ribs from doubling forward. I didn't even fall. Well, this year I was scared. What did I do? I got some running poles. Ooh, goody. And now I catch myself. I pivoted and found another way. So get yourself out there and visualize, visualize, visualize. Imagine success, imagine greatness, imagine what's possible, or even imagine just a little bit better and brighter future. See your success, see your strength, see your power, see the change you can make on the inside and the change you can make in the world. So with that said, I'm going to check in with Jessica to see if she has anything that she wants me to share. Definitely check out the boot camp. We're putting the link, or she's putting the link below. Would love to have you there. This is an awesome, it's 5 days, it's live with me. It is inspiring as this. We do group meditations where we come together with a set focus. Oh my God, is your energy, you're going to be like buzzy tingling, and it helps you gain momentum. It helps you overcome inertia. It helps you burn a vision into your psyche and helps you step forward. And you're going to, of course, find like-minded homies going through this together as well. So with that said, I'm going to open it up to questions. And should I pivot this or keep this as is? All right. We will do that. We'll get back over here. Go for it.
Our first question is from Philip.
Yes. Hi, Philip.
And you partially answered the question, but I thought you might have more to say. He asks, I've been dealing with extreme unrest and rioting in my city these past weeks. It's frightening, angry, and confusing. I'm struggling to stay positive. Specific thoughts? So, Philip, where I would go with this, as far as looking at the riots and things, is I would go hunting for the positives. I would go look for the positive stories. I would go look for the outcomes that you're looking for and anchor those in. And actually, like each night when I go to bed, I'm sending prayers of love. I'm sending prayers of peace. I'm sending prayers of hope to everyone who is out on the streets. So wherever you stand on things is fine. Love yourself up, and we love you up no matter what. But start to burn a vision in your head of what you would like to see as an outcome. Start to look for that and focus your energy on those positives. That's what's so important. So no matter what size of the news you are on, you will always find more negatives than positives because they want you to keep reading and ingesting that stuff. So what I recommend is anything, quote, negative that you see, that you balance it with a positive vision, that you balance it with a positive story, or you balance it with a positive emotion. This is really energetic Tai Chi. You are learning how to take in one energy, transmute it, and send something else right back out. So focus on and look for those positives. They are out there. Can you talk a little bit more about what you mean by transmuting?
So transmuting, thank you. Transmuting means energy is energy, neither good nor bad. Now, certainly there's energy that brings you down, And there's energy that brings you up. But it's all energy. How we label it, that's where we run into difficulty. Because if we label something as bad, we can be stuck. But if we recognize it, it is just energy. So for instance, before an interview or before I talk with you here, I could be going, oh my God, I've got so much energy, I don't know what to do. And I could think that it's fear, that it's worry, that it's anxiety. I could label it as such, and I could bring myself down. Or I could say, wow, this is a creative energy, this tsunami, this wave of energy coming forward to help carry me forward. How does it get any better than this? I have literally just transmuted energy, taken something that could be seen as a negative and transformed it into a positive by how I view it. And I do look at fear and anxiety as excitement in disguise. Specifically to me, fear and anxiety are excitement without deliberate motion. What does that mean? Well, we have all, if you ever participated in sports in school or a running race or something of the sort, or even a recital, anything, not even, recitals are awesome. And you've been so nervous before the start. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. That's fear and worry that are really excitement once you start moving forward. So once you start playing your instrument, once you start singing or dancing, once you start running, once you start that participatory process, all of a sudden that fear and worry become an energy to carry you forward. That's transmutation. The minute you hit go, it all melted into something else. When we're talking about empowerment, when we're talking about confidence, all of the worry exists on the couch. Once we start moving forward, that energy is transmuted into powerful, positive fuel. Great question.
There was some talk about you being vegan, and Philip asked if you were still vegan.
So I am vegan with pookie tendencies. What does that, what does that mean? That means that Jessica, her loving nickname is the Pookie. And the Pookie used to at least slip me ghee on occasion, or occasionally a little bit of egg to try to balance things out. In fact, she had a little bit of egg a few days ago that was going to go to waste. And I decided to eat it to help balance things. So I am a huge, hopefully protector of the planet, protector of animals, protector of sustainability, not to mention kindness and compassion. So my path, and I don't suggest this for anybody, you do what you want to do. I am not trying to put my beliefs on anybody around this. But for me, I choose not to eat animals. I choose to eat very rarely something like an egg, because I want to take care of the animals as much as can, want the smallest footprint on the planet, the smallest carbon footprint on the planet, and on it goes. However, I don't even pretend to try to recommend it for others. Everybody's diet and nutritional needs are unique. And it'd be crazy for somebody saying you have to be this, you have to be that. I do think overall, we can be plant-based, certainly from an eco point of view, from an animal point of view, from a kindness point of view, particularly when we look at commercial farming. But it's all your own choice, your own decision. So I do eat lots and lots of greens, lots and lots of fruits, lots and lots of goodness out of the earth, and seems to work for me. Did you have anything you wanted to add?
I did mention that after your second NDE, you ate meat for a few months because you had shattered your femur, you had lost a lot of blood, so you had a lot of rebuilding to do.
I didn't just eat a little bit of meat. I went nuts. And it's interesting. So when I talk about habit building,
I wouldn't say you went nuts. I mean, for a vegan, it probably felt like you went nuts.
Thank you. So when it comes to habit building, and Charles Duhigg and I were talking about this as well when he was on the show a few days ago, and he wrote The Power of Habit. One of the best ways that you can change your habit is to get out of your routine or get out of your environment. And so we met friends, older friends, right before we were taking a trip to Thailand years ago, who were telling us how they had stopped being vegan and they were having bone broth, and how much that bone broth had helped them. And I was really struggling to heal. I had 4 or 5 other people's blood going through my veins. I was pretty badly broken, and I was really struggling to get my energy back. And we were going to Thailand. We were invited to see about running a mindfulness meditation center in Thailand. And what I did is, once we got to Thailand, I think I started bone broth beforehand, but once we got to Thailand, I allowed myself to eat pretty much whatever was served me, plus a little bit additional in the buffet. And it really, I believe, really helped. So I believe there's a time and a place for everything. Running joke between Jessica and myself is it's very rare to see an older vegan, which means you have to make sure that you are well balanced in what you eat and watch it very carefully. You really have to learn about your body. And I am right now, I am taking flaxseed oil, which I believe is really helping. I am also just started stealing a little bit of Jessica's algae supplement. Technically, you could say that algae is not being vegan. It depends where you go on that food chain.
Okay.
And I'm also taking a B12 supplement, and I find those very helpful.
I think the challenge a lot of vegans run into is they have a very processed diet, and that actually ends up not being just as unhealthy as all the other diets out there.
When you met me, I guess I've been having a little bit of veggie burgers, but they're different. I was a horrific
tofu dogs,
tofurkey or something, or tofu dogs.
Hot dogs that made out of
I think they were tofu dogs. I made tofu dog sushi. I had tofu this and that. I had chicken burgers, which was more processed, God knows what, than it was anything else. And I also ate, I do miss those days, an entire tray, correct me if I'm wrong, or if I'm exaggerating, an entire tray of brownies almost a day. That wasn't a healthy diet. So I was vegan, but I wasn't doing it from a health perspective. And that's something that we definitely get to watch, is you want to eat real foods. That's what's most important. And Rita's saying about animal suffering, and I couldn't agree with you more. And we have basically at this point created an animal sanctuary around our home, taking care of all the animals we can.
Yes. I had a question.
Go for it.
Because I'm looking at the title on our thumbnail. It says, "Take Back Your Power." Mm-hmm. Was there a time in your life where you felt like power was taken away from you and you struggled to take it back? And what was that process like of taking it back?
Many times, but the one that comes to mind right now is source books. I had my first book come out through source books, College Confidence with ADD. And it was such a butchered process that at one point when the book was supposed to come out in like a year or something, and at one point in the process, I went, so what they would do is they would bounce back and forth with an editor and work on the book for a while, and then they would disappear. I don't know if I ever even shared this with you. And then all of a sudden, Source Books would be back in touch with me, and you'd have a new editor assigned to you with new deadlines and new ideas of what they wanted for the book. Mm-hmm. And you'd work on it for more. I mean, I was working my tail off. In fact, I was living basically on credit cards trying to get through this thing, thinking that I was going to make money once the book came out. Key point, if you write a book, don't expect to make a dime. Don't do it for that, or you're going to be in a world of hurt. And so then the next editor came in and worked with it for like 6 months and then disappeared. And then the next editor came in and worked for it for 6 months and then disappeared. And when the editor came back, had lost a third of the book. Oh, gosh. Gone, poof, never reappeared, never re-existed. And so I'm thinking my economics depend on this book. My future depends on this book. My coaching depends on this book. My everything depends on this book. And the book was being trashed and not coming out, and I'm being handed off and handed off and handed off. And then when the book did come out, there was absolutely no publicity, there was no marketing, there was no anything behind it. And I felt completely shattered. And what I felt, I still actually get to do even more tapping and emotion code kind of work on it. What I felt, and you've heard me say this phrase, is I felt stuck in a vacuum. I felt that I couldn't get out of this vacuum, that nobody could hear my voice. I put out an amazing audiobook. I was very, very proud of it. In fact, while making the audiobook, the editor had different editor. The audiobook editor or producer had his own personal challenges and had to quit the project. And I had to take it back myself. That was a gift. Because when I had to take it back myself, and I'm going, I'm helpless, poor me, woe is me, help me. You will never succeed if you stay in the victim role. Let me repeat that. You will never succeed. And there are very few definites in life, but you will never succeed, at least in your heart, if you stay in the victim role. You are completely disempowered. And I had to say, I put out the audiobook because I wasn't getting any money from the paperback book. So I had to find a way, and I had kept the rights to the audiobook. I said, I have to find a way to get this done. I have to find a way to teach myself this software. I have to find a way to record. I have to find a way to find the tone for the recording. I have to find a way to do everything. It really sucked. And it was awesome. Every day I probably woke up crying, going, oh my God, how am I going to do this? And then I would step forward and I'd put myself on the mic. And hey, that was my first time on the mic. Found out I was pretty good on the mic. Even
That's
solo.
what you found out?
Probably so. Well, I mean, there was high school drama or junior high drama or something like that. But that was my first time on a mic, and it was really cool. I mean, really on a mic recording. But the process was then putting that one step forward each day with that vision, with exactly actually what I'm sharing here tonight. And I put out an audiobook, and I'm very, very, very proud of that audiobook. In fact, the grandmother who's been trying to reach out to me in my automatic writing, it was her when she passed on. It was her, she gave money to my mom to give to her grandkids. And my mom gave me money specifically from my grandmother to put out that audiobook, which is actually pretty awesome. No, I'm not going to cry.
Oh, I wasn't wondering.
Next question.
Okay, good. Our next question is from Denise.
Yeah.
What do you mean by personal power? Sorry, I just joined.
So, Denise, that's a great question. Personal power means that we are each creators. We are each here for greatness. Now, greatness means different things to different people. It doesn't mean that you have to become a president or a world leader or a CEO or a champion of a cause or anything. It means that you are a creator of your own destiny. That is personal power. What do you want to see in your life? What do you want to feel in your life? What do you want to experience in your life? Personal power is being able to have just that or something even better. That is personal power. And we have been disempowered since we were young to think we had to conform. We had to do for others. We had to do what others wanted. Serving is an awesome thing, but serve from your heart, not because you're told that's what to do. Personal power is saying, what do I want in my life? What do I want for me? What have I been squashing down that I am now going to open my heart? There's a reason all of our boot camps are called Open-Hearted Warrior Boot Camps, because we teach you to open your heart to see and feel what's in there and let that pull you forward. What do I want if I dare to open my heart, shine a light in it, and start to truly feel again? That's taking back your personal power.
Thanks. Our next question is from Audrey.
Mhm.
What is power? Is it my choice to decide what power is from my higher self?
Power, Audrey, is self-agency. It is choosing for you and from you, not from anyone else, not from anyone else's mores, not from anyone else's judgment of what is good or bad, right or wrong, is worthy of doing or not worthy of doing. But is you being able to say, this is what I want, and going for it. That is true power. Power comes from you. Power comes from source. We are all spiritual beings having a human existence. We all came here with the ability to create. Your mind is a creator. What do you mean your mind is a creator? Well, if I say I am hungry, I can reach into the cabinet and pull something else out, and I created, in a sense, food for me. Yeah, but is it really created? Well, who went shopping? Who earned the money to go shopping? And on and on and on it goes. The mind is the creator. The impulses come from spirit, whether you want chocolate, whether you want vanilla, whether you want to serve in some way out on the streets, whether you want to work with kids, whether you want to work with your kids. But power is having the ability to choose for you. Now, you could say, well, if I'm in jail, I have no power. Au contraire. Some of the strongest people, whether we look at Nelson Mandela, who was jailed, whether we look at Gandhi, who was jailed, when we look at countless others, several of whom we've even had on the show who were jailed. If you take control of your thoughts, of your emotional state, of what you choose to visualize, of who you choose to be, even if you're imprisoned, even if you're in a straitjacket, heaven forbid, then you have just taken back your power. Brilliant, brilliant question. Thank you, Audrey.
There was a second part to Denise's question, which is, how do you know about healing and where can I learn more?
So Denise, my simplest answer would be to check out a whole bunch of shows that we have on Inspire Nation on healing, because there are countless healers who we've had on the show. With that said, if you find one direction you're pulled to, you can look to find a teacher. You can start with books. You can start with, we are all healers. You can start with just feeling the energy in your hands and starting to work. If you have a kitty cat, if you have a dog, if you have another pet, of being able to send them energy. There are so many different ways to become a healer and to heal others. It is just a matter of finding, this has a lot to do with personal power tonight, which lights you up. That's what you get to ask yourself. What lights me up and what interests me? So for instance, I'm playing the harmonica and the flute right now as I'm getting into my power. I don't actually know if I'm going to like either of them. I'm just playing and trying them out. And maybe as I play and try it out, I go, wow, I really love this. Or these aren't for me. They're convenient. You've got them on your desk. But a light bulb has gone off for something else. So you might find that you start working with Reiki, for instance, and go, you know, that doesn't feel quite right, but I like going down this path. And you try something else and you try something else. And all of a sudden you find that maybe your path is creating amazing healing foods for people. Woohoo! How does it get any better than this? Play, explore, try things out, go down different alleys. Don't worry if one's a dark alley or a dead end. They're all here to serve you. Every experience is here to serve you, but kind of stumble your way forward and feel out what feels good to you as you go down your own personal healing path. Beautiful, beautiful question, Denise.
Pamela asks, how do I decide through service and making money if I am very people-oriented and trying to write my book?
If I am very people-oriented and trying to write my book. So I'm not fully understanding this question. How do I decide through service and making money if I'm very people-oriented? So, Pamela, I'm not sure if I'm fully understanding, but let's use there are two internal GPSs. One, I highly recommend you check out our automatic writing program. We go into this process each and every morning, Jessica and myself, and thousands of others at this point that we've taught this to. And we will almost close our eyes, go into prayer, put pen to paper, and hear from the universe where to go, what to do, and get guidance on a daily basis. So I can't recommend that enough. That's automaticwriting.com. That's one internal GPS that you have, is through a third person, or actually second person, writing experience. We call it automatic writing experience. The second internal GPS that you have is your emotion. See what pulls you, see what calls you, see what interests you, see what excites you. You might find in working with people that, I'm not really turned on by trying to help these people. Or maybe you'll find, oh my God, this is the greatest thing since sliced bread. Or you might find, oh, I really want to write about this experience. Or you might find, I feel like I'm being told by my head to write this experience, but my heart doesn't say it's right. We have to go into the feeling space. That's where the party happens. And trust that. Oftentimes, the thing we get to do the most is the thing that we say, that's crazy. Because the thinking mind will tell you something that coming from the heart is absolutely nuts. And chances are that means you have to step forward. Michael, you and Jessica just got wiped out financially. You were living on not quite a dream home, but an amazing home on the side of Haleakala, side of a volcano on Maui. You could see both coasts down beneath you. You were living in paradise. You got kicked out. You're financially leveled. Jessica's sick. And you're going to start a show? You know nothing about it. You have no idea how to do this. What are you possibly thinking? And it's not going to be a show about a topic that you really know anything about. You're going to make a show to inspire people. Okay, you've been a coach for almost 20 years at this point. Okay, you got that going for you. You've done running, you've done healing, you've done nutrition, you've done these other pieces, but you certainly haven't made a show to help people shine bright. What gives you the right to do that? I feel like it. I feel like it. I feel like it. I feel like it. Wow, there's a pull inside of me. This is nuts. This is crazy. I feel I have to do this. Oh my God, I have to do this. I am being pulled. I've got to do it. I've got to do it. The mind's going, that's nuts. That's insane. That's crazy. When you feel that pull and the mind screams, it's crazy. Chances are, dot your I's, cross your T's. I'm not saying about we're walking off a cliff and imagining there's a glass bridge in front of you. Look first. Don't quit your day job. But then step forward. If you're feeling that's crazy, chances are step forward with everything that you've got. That is stepping into your personal power. Time for a question or two more.
Yes, from Amanda.
Yes.
For someone who struggles with feeling worthy, what could you suggest for me to get to that feeling frequency?
That's a great question, Amanda. For somebody who is struggling with feeling worthy, I would turn first off. I would turn to some sort of a mantra that you keep repeating over and over and over again. I am loved, I am worthy. Or I am loved, I am kind, I am gentle. Or I am worthy, I am kind, I am gentle. I am worthy, I am kind, I am gentle. And I would just start repeating that over and over again, Amanda, as if that is oxygen. There's a brilliant mantra from Emile Coué from France, from I believe it's the 1920s. Every day in every way, I am getting better and better. Every day in every way, I am getting better and better. Every day in every way, I am getting better and better. doing one of these mantras, particularly at bedtime, as you're going to sleep, you're in this hypnagogic half here, not half not here state, you are starting to carve new grooves in the record. Mantras are kind of a brute force way. They take a lot of repetition. It's like dropping water onto the counter, but it has 100% success rate if you do it long enough. There is a beautiful book that I'd recommend as well by Kamal Ravikant. Love yourself like your life depends on it. And he shares his mantra, very, very simple, that he used for 30 days that completely and radically transformed his life and helped him drop into his heart. Worthiness is one that you can attack from many different angles. I don't mean attack as fight. I mean, there are countless tools that you can use on it. And that was my greatest challenge as well, because mom had taught me how worthless I was. Now, mom rocks now, but at the time she taught me how worthless I was so that I would have to find my way to climb back under the hole. She didn't really mean it that way. She did teach a concept of tough love, but she wasn't really saying, I want you to feel miserable so that you'll find a way to feel better. But Amanda, if you throw the kitchen sink at this one, you can't help but be successful. You just have to start and take steps forward each and every day. I think Lynn helped out here and wrote, you're a child of the universe, no less than the trees and the stars. You have a right to be here. Lynn, that's actually very similar to what I got in one of my darkest moments when I was actually thinking of killing myself. I was so overwhelmed with worthlessness, which is weird because I had just earned 2 simultaneous business master's degrees. But then afterwards, my ego said, what have you done for me today, sucker? And I watched a PBS infomercial by Wayne Dyer talking about how you are a child of God. And if you're a child of God and you believe that there is a God or there is a spiritual universe and that universe is all-knowing, then you weren't made by accident, and therefore you can't be worthless. I didn't put it as eloquently just now as Wayne Dyer did, but it actually hit home. It was a piece, it was a step. It got me to stop picking on myself with my mind, which was critically important because I had a dear friend, a girl/friend, who killed herself about 6 months later because she kept on thinking, I'm worthless, I'm broken, there can't be fixed. I'm worthless, I'm broken, I can't be fixed. And eventually the conclusion to that was to check out. The reverse, I'm worthy, I'm awesome, I can reach for the stars. I'm worthy, I'm awesome, I can reach for the stars. I'm worthy, I'm awesome, I'm capable of greatness. I'm worthy, I'm awesome, I'm capable of greatness. I'm worthy, I'm awesome, capable of greatness. And what will happen is over time, you'll find I'm worthy, I'm awesome, I'm capable of greatness. Or something even better. So that's where I would start. Time for, say, one more question. What are you feeling?
I think we've gotten to all the questions.
So last call for questions. If not, we're going to dive into a meditation here. And is there anything that you wanted to share, boot camp, anything else? Not needing to put you on the spot, but just checking in.
Yeah, I don't think everybody here knows what happens during the 5 days in boot camp.
Ooh, goody.
I think you've mentioned that there are group intentions.
Yep.
I mean, group intention meditations.
So what we have is starting a week from Monday, we have our next boot camp. It's a 5-day class that'll take place at 8:30 p.m. Eastern time, 5:30 p.m. Pacific time. We get together on Zoom. And first off, we help bring up the energy. There's music, there's dance. It's exciting. It's fun. We bring the energy up for everybody. Then we dive into a lesson for the day. You learn a new tool as far as visualization or finding your way forward and certainly stepping into your power. We talk about this tool. We talk about how you can use it. We may do a group clearing or a group tapping session or working on your subconscious blocks. That takes you through most of the way through the session. And then we do a group intention setting meditation just before the end. So we help bring together, scoop up everybody's energy, focus it together like a laser to help you take off during this week. And with this powerful group intention meditation, it's palpable. You can almost feel a buzzing of your fingertips. You can almost feel your hair standing up on end. That's how we finish each evening, leaving you on fire for the day ahead. There's a little bit of homework, one usually homework assignment a day to help you up level your life. And you leave the week, new friends, awesome experiences, lots of laughter, possibly some side stitches, possibly some tears, certainly worked past some subconscious blocks, some awesome tools, and really energize you to send you out into the world. And we do these actually once a month. So the link that Jessica's sending you to is actually where you get this upcoming boot camp, and you get our whole collection of boot camps so that you can really go crazy with this, a different theme each month. This next one being visualization. We've had overcoming fear and anxiety. We've had moving past subconscious blocks. Each one of these is a standalone program that can help you change your life. And together they're kind of like, oh, I've never really called it this way. This is a bit of a stretch, but I'm going to say an owner's manual for the soul, or an owner's manual for having a human experience as a spiritual being. You learn the tools that work, and you're not overwhelmed by too many tools. So again, next Monday through, not this Monday, a week from Monday through Friday, where we will come together as a group and help up level your life. It is super, 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 super special. And so can't recommend that enough for you. Anything else?
I think that was a really good summary.
Oh, and the classes are recorded. So if you can't make any of them, they're available for you on a recording. So if you get home too late, or if you're exhausted or whatever, or you can only catch 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 of the 5 classes, that's fine too. They're all on recording, so you don't have to worry about that. And there's a Facebook community too, so you can ask your questions. So many people who watch the show say, where can I find people who have these same, quote, crazy thoughts as I did, who aren't just these linear day-to-day automatons, but are heart-centered people going through this experience. And we have a Facebook group so that you can plug in with these like-minded souls. Meditation time?
Yes. Hi, Daniel. So there are a few people in the chat who live in communities that have experienced some violence.
Yeah.
They're hearing gunshots, sirens, and we're wondering if we could do a meditation that sends peace to these communities.
Oh, heck yeah.
And also to people who've been who've experienced violence and have been put in jail wrongly.
Gotcha. Okay. So I was looking for my gold coin. Here it is, right here. And so what we're going to do for this meditation, I have no idea where we're going to go with it, but I want you to envision a gold coin. And on one side of the gold coin, I want you to envision communities that are still having strife, that are still having sirens or gunshots or strife right now, danger and uncertainty. And on the other side of the coin, I want you to envision anybody who's been wrongly locked up, been locked up with due process, or just anybody who is in jail and had their rights taken away from them at this time. I know, like in New York City, they're holding people for more than 24 hours without due process. I don't know if they're still doing that or not, but let's envision that. And I want you to drop that down. Imagine the coin going in through your third eye and down into your heart. And I want you to envision each and every one of these people. And we're going to breathe in. And right now, if you can see, I'm breathing in as the sun is hitting me in the face. If the sun is set where you are, I want you to imagine the sun up and that you are breathing in all the sunlight you can. And breathing out, sending out love. Breathing in all the light you can. Breathing out, sending out love. Breathing in through the nose, down to the belly, all the light you can. Breathing out, sending out love. In light, out love. In light, out love. Now, as you continue to breathe in and out, I want you to start breathing into your heart. Imagine your heart as a giant lung. You're breathing into your heart and out from the heart. Into the heart and out from the heart. This is a concept called heart coherence. It's actually been studied by Heart Math Institute. It's a scientific thing. As we continue to breathe into the heart and out from the heart, we sync up together, creating an incredible power that we can send out to help change the world. We basically become a giant laser beam. As you continue to breathe in and out to the heart, we are going to start to send out light and love to everyone in need. Breathe in light and love and send out light and love to anyone in your community where there could be rioting, gunshots, siren, or people in need. In light, out love to your community. In light, out love to your community. In light. As you send out love, put your hand over your heart and think peace. In light, out love and peace. In light, send out love and peace. Now you can expand this. First, we've been sending out love and peace to everyone in your community. But you can expand this to send out love and peace to everyone in your city. Send out that love and peace. Breathe in again. Send it out to everybody in your state who's in need. Send out that love and peace. Breathe in that love and light. Send out love and peace to everyone in your country in need. Breathe in love and peace, in light. Send out love and peace to everyone on the planet in need of love and peace. And now, as you continue to breathe in and out, now let us send out feelings of love and security to everyone who's been arrested, who's been jailed, who's imprisoned, who is in any way detained or had their freedoms removed. Let's breathe in light and send out actually love, security, and strength, letting them know it's all going to work out. Breathe in light. Send out love, security, and strength. Breathe in light. Send out love, security, and strength. One more time. Breathe in light. Send out love, security, and strength. And now, one more round where I want you to actually take your arms, put them around yourself so that you're holding yourself in a giant hug. And I want you to breathe in light. And as you're hugging yourself, say, it's okay. Breathe in light. It's okay. Breathe in light. It's okay. And if you're ready for some graduate level work, let's keep breathing in and say, you are loved. Breathe in light. You are loved. And breathe in light. You are loved. Love you guys so, so much. Have the most amazing, beautiful, peaceful, love-filled, you are the love, you are the light, and you certainly are loved. Powerful, be empowered, take those baby steps forward, beginning tonight or in the morning, day ahead and week ahead. Hope to see you in our boot camp next week. Love you guys so, so much. Thank you, Jessica, for running everything. Thank you, everybody, for your comments and questions. Of course, give us a big thumbs up if you enjoy this and subscribe and hit the bell icon so you're notified of our next YouTube Live. And of course, join us for our premieres. We have two very special premieres coming up this week. We have Mitch Horowitz coming up. We have Dr. Sears coming up. Both should be incredible interviews. That'll be on Tuesday for Mitch, and Dr. Sears on diet and health on Thursday. Come join us for those. Love you guys so, so much. Keep on shining bright and shining your bright, beautiful light on the world. You are loved.
Good night.
Woo-hoo. Night, everyone.